So, when people told me they wanted my take on the Destiny thing or just E drama in general, aside from like the comments that are like, oh, stick to E drama, pal, and they don't want me to talk about politics, I was actually kind of surprised, but I think I kind of get it now more. The politic videos will continue, but just to reduce burnout in general, and because, you know, gathering this stuff is not difficult, but can be kind of tedious. You know, we're gonna divide it, okay? And also, truth be told, this Destiny thing or whatever, just reaction in general, right? Reaction ish stuff in general. They were like, the people, the loyal centers out there are like, you have a very good normie edgy way of reacting to this stuff and whatever. And I'm like, if that's the case, I can understand that. And if that's what you want, I am one to give the people what they want. So we're gonna go ahead and react. This is kind of late, all right. The Destiny getting sued for millions. So a short TLDR of everything and how we got here. All right. Obviously, I did some streams and there's some videos detailing this back before the political arc, which you can catch up on. But it looks like it's evolved. We've evolved to the stage where Destiny is getting sued for millions of dollars. So we're now in this stage. Apparently, I've heard little bits and pieces here and there because I have been on vacation. Still am looking to get back soon. But apparently, Destiny pulled a little bit of a Ricada as well and started messing up his case. So that's love. That's just great. So we're gonna watch this. Destiny getting sued for millions by DGG World, and let's see what's going on here.
You're drawing any info or statements today? Yeah, well, I'm just waiting for... Can you go all the way, or are you still limited? Well, I'm significantly less limited now, but I have to, I fired off my...
Can you just comment on the way this guy talks? It's always like so... I don't know. He always does the thing where he's so monotone, but he speaks like 20 miles an hour, like Ben Shapiro, probably more miles an hour. That's been his shtick for the longest time. I mean, does anybody find this like to be like, is this soothing to most people? Is this like one of those things where like, they're like, oh my God, this man talking like this is very soothing to me, right? I don't know, is it?
I read up a huge thing over the past few days, which I wonder if that's what motivated them to file so quickly, for presenting my side of things. But now that everything's filed, now I have way more. There's one huge reason why I haven't said anything that nobody was able to put together, which is understandable, I guess, because it's a little unintuitive, but now that doesn't matter, so I guess. I ended up writing up a big thing. This is like the big issue, okay? There are 3 big reasons, I think, generally, why you don't talk much about a court case before it goes to...
You know what? Your lawyer could probably tell you why, but yeah, by all means, go ahead and give us your opinion on this, rather than getting like a lawyer's actual word and point of view.
Before it actually like it goes to trial or is filed or whatever, okay? 2 of these are very intuitive, or at least you hear them repeated so often, but there's a third one that's far less intuitive. So the first one is sometimes people might admit to something.
Okay, I just gotta say, like, I mean, we're 1 minute into this, and this guy is just so boring. He's just like not doing like, what is this? What am I watching right now? It's not even like the ADHD or anything. And I guess like listening to this guy just ramble for like a minute or so about like whatever, like I don't even think he's getting to the point. It kind of like puts in perspective why I went on this political arc, because while it is having like a lot of people turn on me, a lot of the fucking people that backed me up just because I was screaming MAGA like an idiot, like while we have many people that have turned on me, at the same time, watching the content, like for example the Trump Zelensky trash fire, watching how Andrew Tate just blatantly says that he's affiliated with the Trumps, having like commenters mauled about how like that's not true, and then me showing it that it is. That is like infinitely more interesting and enthusiastically enthusiastically empowering, if that makes any sense. Well, this is just like this, listening to Destiny just not shut the fuck up and just go on for a minute. This has only been a minute, mind you. Reminds me how and why I just dropped the E-drama shit, because it's just like, oh my god, these people. Let's see how much more of this I can stomach.
Incriminating, which is, you don't want to do that because anything you say.
Because essentially, what is this? I'm getting this 35-year-old, gooner midget over here, like, talking about, like, how he thinks he knows something when he doesn't. Like, why is he speaking like he's a fucking attorney? He's not. Right? This is like Nick Ricada trying to lecture you on parenthood. It just doesn't work, pal. Like, whatever.
Do can be used against you in court, blah blah blah. And even in a civil case, that theoretically anything you say can show up. So sometimes people might admit to a crime or say things that could cause for further cause of action or whatever, right? So that's like the very obvious one. The second thing that's at issue in this particular case is that pxie made an unbelievably unhinged Substack.
The pxie chick is the guy who's nudes he was distributing to other women, apparently. So that's who that is.
The problem was, while we were negotiating pre them filing anything, it's hard to say this without doing like the whole story. Oh no, there was a second intuitive one. I'm sorry. Now that as I run through this, I remember. The second issue is that if you say a whole bunch of stuff publicly and you attack the other person, you make them less likely to want to actually settle anything, because part of the advantages of pretrial settlements are non-disclosure agreements, non-disparagement clauses, and these are things that you have as kind of like negotiating tools, basically.
Do I really want to listen to fucking Destiny Babylon about what he thinks are like legal ethics and whatnot? Like, what is this shit, bro? Like, what is he like? Why do like? How does anybody like legitimately listen to this and they're not put off by, like, again, like the Gooner midget? Like, I don't know. Is he reading Chat GPT now? Is he reading Wikipedia again? What the fuck is he doing? I don't know, man. I don't know.
But if you...
I'm struggling to like think who's worse, the DGGers or the Magatards at this point. It's like...
blurb everything publicly and everything goes public, then it's like, okay, well, I mean, what's the incentive to settle anything, right? The third one was... the third issue was that the Substack that Andrea wrote was so unbelievably unhinged that the...
like, honestly, I'm like... to be actually invested in this shit, you know, hot take maybe, but it should be the real take. You have to absolutely, like, and I mean as a content creator, not the average watcher, right? If you're the average watcher, you know, all you're doing is clicking on a fucking video and being like wanting to be entertained by a what is essentially or used to be a TV show, right? Your own kind of TV show broadcasted, right? From when it comes to the people that actually have to cover this extensively, right? Oh my god, you have got to have absolutely nothing going for you in real life if you are so in deep and invested in this Destiny shit and you're a content creator, right? And I mean heavily invested to the point where you're doing like maybe 5 to 9 hour streams while watching or playing Fortnite, and you have to have all these, you know, stupid little whale takes. I mean, how much of a life can you really have at that point, you know? I'm having an aneurysm just listening to this guy. It's just bad. This is overall already a bad video. It's gonna be tough to get through this. That's all I'm gonna say.
The only possible way I would have agreed to settle anything would have been she had to retract like 80% of that. But the issue is that I don't know if there's any world where she ever would have been willing to, because it makes her look so bad. But I think the issue is that she maneuvered herself into like a totally unfavorable position where like the situation was just so screwed up that she's looking for me to try to settle something, but she's already inflicted maximum possible damage on me. So like they filed a lawsuit today, but it's like, okay, like all of these claims, actually worse than the claims in the lawsuit, have already been made publicly and alleged against me in her Substack. So I have little incentive to settle anything. She's put herself like in an impossible position where she can't she can't like do anything because she would have to walk back from so much. And the issue is, so then getting into this, people are like, why didn't you say anything? Why haven't you said you're innocent, or why haven't you blah, blah, blah? The reason why I haven't said anything is because as soon as I start clarifying on my end, remember how we said in court, you can't introduce character evidence to attack a defendant, but you can introduce character evidence to attack somebody who's provided character evidence to defend themselves. The issue then is that for me to argue my side here would be just, it's going to be really, really, really rough on the other side. So if I start publicly explaining things, it destroys her ability to make any kind of salvageable public statement. And then so there's been like 3 phases of me basically not being able to chat.
Oh my god, like what is happening right now? Like, I mean, let's see if we can speak. Does he separate this into any good chapters? Because again, it's like, what is this update from Destiny in regards to civil complaints filed by Pixie, the reasons why Destiny hasn't responded until now, why possible settlements fell through, and much more. Alright, so apparently he's being sued for millions of dollars. There's back and found this mental and lawyer. Hey, you're sorry. Okay, well maybe we'll skip through a couple of this shit. We'll do this up until 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Otherwise, I'm just gonna lose my mind. You know, I'm not particularly interested that much in what Mr. Stephen Bonnell has to fucking say or whatever there. On that note, right, if I'm just going the pure reaction route, because apparently people like that or some shit, you know, why limit it to just politics and celeb drama, right? I wanna go Mr. Expanding, Mr. Worldwide, so to speak. So why don't I just react to just about anything? We'll do anime, we'll do games, we'll do politics, we'll do drama. All right, but we're gonna do these little uploads here as fast as possible. You know, it's all about that grind, baby. It's all about that grind. All right, so I guess this is going to be like the new direction, and you know what? It makes sense as well, because at that time, I give some people, I give a smorgasbord of people, you know, the loyal centers what they want here and there. You know, they don't get burned out. I don't get burned out. Everything stays fresh. I stay true to some of my roots. You know, the gaming and the anime bullshit. You know, it's gonna kind of be a rough time headed back there. You know. I'm sure, but it has to be done, you know. So this is purely going to be maybe like a reaction kind of thing going forward. Might still have the edited videos on this, or might just go ahead and move the edited videos to another channel. We'll see. That remains to be seen. We'll continue on though. Let's see Mr. Stephen Bonnell finish this up here.
Chat about any of this. So the first phase was, obviously, I don't want to publicize the leaks because, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says in this, I am a victim in this. Unarguably, the largest victim.
Okay, he's finally said something that's caught my attention that I can be critical about. Okay, thank fucking God. All right, it's time for the realist to dissect your boy. So, Stephen Bonnell says he is the victim. Okay, this is the classic rebardation that everybody that's anti-SJWs has introduced ever since Johnny Depp came about. Then we had the Umbrella guy made 50,000 Johnny Depp videos or whatever, calling him a victim. We had Nick Rekieta go ahead and make 1 million fucking videos and live streams covering about why Johnny Depp is a victim and shit and whatever. It's the classic bullshit excuse. I think Yellow Flash does this as well. You know, it's like the classic defense. Every man is a victim. He's essentially, when you open this up, you've opened the ability and the narrative to be used by retards like Stephen Bonnell here to say that, well, actually, if you really think about it educationally, you know, I'm just like Johnny Depp. It's like every man that's in a horrible position because of the evil woman is Johnny Depp, apparently. That's the direction we're headed nowadays. It's kind of gay, not gonna lie. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad that it's been reduced to this, but, you know, what can you do? What can you do? All right, let's continue here.
victim. I was the target of this, and I've been the one the most horribly impacted.
You were the target of it because you got exposed, and rightfully so. You were what we call, or what I would call, an approved target. What I call an approved target is essentially somebody malicious that lets me have the right to be malicious, essentially. Because I won't lie, as the realist, because I am the realist, okay? I'll admit I have a little malice in my heart. You know, I like to get that vigilante out in me, a little bit of that darkness out of me. But in order to do that, I need to find a strictly bad person, which is why I like people that threaten me and that attempt to do something to me, because it gives me the right to self-defense at that point, because I'm not being a bad person if I do something bad to you at that point. I'm simply applying self-defense. Okay, but yeah, I mean, in this case, Stephen Bonnell would be the approved target for anybody else, right? You know, as the vultures go ahead and scavenge the bones, so to speak, for Mr. Bonnell. I mean, like, they clearly just don't like a guy that's so pretentious and acts holier than thou. And I don't like Mango Man Trump, you know. I think he's pretty bitch made now. 2016, he was better, you know. He's kind of like terrible now. But, you know, even then, I gotta point out the hypocrisy in the whole thing. You know, in regards to Destiny, right? Trump definitely takes the W over this guy, right? Regardless, all right, whatever you want to say about the, you know, Mango Man, you know, Orange Man, and him sucking off Putin, which is all like true. But at the ending of the day, right? It really is that Trump does have the W over this creature over here, Stephen Bonnell, which, to be fair, isn't very difficult to do because it is, you know, Destiny. It is Stephen Bonnell.
So, one, I don't want to publicize my own leaks, but also, out of respect for other people involved, I don't want to publicize their leaks, so I don't talk about any of it. The second part was her saying that she was literally suicidal and that if her parents ever found out, she would kill herself. So obviously, I don't want to talk about it then as well. And then the third part was for pre-trial stuff after she'd made her statement. Well, now if I start explaining my side of things, now she's in an even more like completely position trying to make any sort of pre-trial joint statement with me to settle anything. So the situation in terms of my ability to say anything prior to her filing an actual fucking complaint has been nada, because I'm either going to cause her to kill herself, okay, or I'm going to cause her to have to be so fucked for her litigation posture that now she'll either kill herself or whatever. I don't know. So this has been like the most irritating and annoying part about all of this, I think. There's like a lot of like specifics that we can dive into, but like I said, I made a, I don't know if you call it a manifesto. Probably shouldn't call it manifesto, because now everything I say is going to show up in either in a court doc or in trial, I guess. But I don't understand. Shouldn't you be focusing on self-survivability over her feelings? Kind of. So I'm trying to think of how to say this so that it doesn't sound like the worst thing ever. Like, in a way, our destinies are intertwined. Because let's say that I go, the issue is that in my mind, and who knows, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe some magical stuff will happen in court or whatever, and who knows. In my mind, the worst stuff for me was always the PR stuff. So after she made her Substack, at that point, like already, this is the maximum amount of damage that.
I swear to God, I went over the fucking Trump and Zelensky shit, and I even had a better time listening to fucking JD, Manlover, Vance, and all of them, like, have a fucking shit show than this. What is this shit, bro? This is so how do people unironically pay attention to this and have a good time? Like, how do you watch a 5-hour stream detailing Destiny, like, talking like this, right? Well, like, a fat guy plays fucking Fortnite. Like, how do you do that? Holy shit, you guys are no lifers if you do. Okay, that's not fair. Okay, I'm sure everybody has their own reasons. Maybe they just like the background noise, okay? Maybe they just want, you know, the background noise, so to speak. But holy fucking shit. As the guy reacting to this, I gotta say, I don't know. Maybe I just don't know. Maybe I'm out of touch, man. I'm just kind of out of touch, I guess.
That I can suffer, like like, it's been a lot of reputational damage, a lot of direct financial harm, a lot of indirect financial harm, reputational harm, relationship harm, friendships, whatever. So at that point, what is the point of me clarifying anything?
I mean, it's worth noting that the only thing I can give Destiny is that there are people that already knew about your bullshit and how much of a snake you were, like that J-Stock guy and Nicholas Diorio, and they kept quiet because you were still valuable to them at the time. That's a fact. That is an undeniable fact. But that's the only thing I can give Bonnell. That's the only thing I can give Steven over here. It's the only thing I can give Destiny. Like, yes, these people knew about how much of a snake you were and did not care because this was not brought out to the open. So then, when it's brought out to the open, they can completely cut you off and throw you into the lion's den. Yes, absolutely. J Stock and Nick Diorio definitely did that, and now they're trying to come off as the heroes in this entire thing. This is something you see quite often. It's done a lot, which is another like reason why I stopped like fucked off from e-drama, because it's like, how many times can you point this out, this pattern that happens all the time in e-celeb fandom, and not have people just pick up on it at this point. It's kind of like redundant to point out the same thing. And I told you this was going to happen. I told you, like, I verbatim told everybody, yeah, this is exactly what's going to happen. He's doing a lot of shady shit behind the scenes. He's a fucking snake. He's a fucking scumbag. And big content creators like Nick Diorio and J Stock know about this shit. They're going to keep quiet until it comes out, because this happens all the time. And what happened? Exactly what I said. Again, again, and again, and again. And I'm just so tired of being right all the time about these people, man. I guess that's another reason why I'm like, let me, if I'm gonna be doing this, let me move on to a new topic, so to speak, which is why as the politic aspect came along. And it's kind of made me jaded to see how stupid people can be by continuing to worship grown men on the internet, whether it's Daddy Jim, whether it's Destiny, whether it's Nick Diorio. I haven't heard anybody praise J-Stock yet, but I guess he's there too. I mean, you guys, come on, have some self-respect, have some dignity, which I guess why I'm going to mix it up with some other content. I'm gonna be making fun of some like anime openings, probably anime shit. I'm gonna get into that anime groove there. I'll probably shit on some VTubers. I'll shit on some gaming stuff. I don't know. We'll see. We're just gonna purely do some edgy reaction. All right, you're gonna push the limits, okay, of all this shit. All right, it's gonna be slop reaction mania. All right, let's see. We got one more minute on this. See what Steven has to say here.
Thing publicly, like even if I have like the perfect statement, like there's already been irreparable harm suffered. Well, okay, let's say that I make a statement. Let's say that I clarify to the best of my ability everything on my end, but as a result of those clarifications, I destroy her character. And then let's say that the tides turn, and let's say overwhelmingly, or let's say the majority of people are like, yeah, okay, I think Steven's position was a lot more fair here than what was being represented, and then she kills herself. Well, now I'm still because now I'm like, okay, well, all right, yeah, okay, well, I'm not gonna say much about that. Now I'm completely right. So I'm like as soon as people start like threatening suicide, now I'm like I'm boxed in and like in every single area. I don't know how many of these are public yet. I've got screenshots of everything. Obviously, we'll see how much I can talk about. But like Andrea is literally having conversations where she's literally saying, depending on Steven's response for this, I'll decide like if I have to go nuclear or not. And but don't worry, like I won't kill myself over the holidays because I don't want to make people's like holidays feel bad. And it's like, holy shit, like, well, what the fuck? And then when the demand is $500,000 to $1 million, it's like, wait, what? And it's getting higher like every single time she talks to somebody. I'm like, wait, excuse me?
Well, I mean, maybe it's just to get back at you. I understand your defense will probably be like, oh, she's a gold digger and she only wants money and she's not really affected. But at the ending of the day, it's like, listen, Steven, financially is probably the only way to get justice or vengeance against you. Because, like, I mean, look, true justice and true dark justice, vengeance, if you will, what this man deserves to have, what I think a lot of people primarily want to do is, well, it's not things that you can accomplish within the boundaries of the law. I mean, it would probably be something along the lines of, like, life ruination or physical damage. Unfortunately, Steven, we live in a society where that's not possible, or fortunately, maybe. So the only way to actually hurt you, realistically, aside from like life ruination, further life ruination, which would be kind of dark, if you think about it, what they can do to you, and it wouldn't have to be going after you, if you know what I mean. The only way is to hit your finances. And that's the reality of the situation. I only speak facts. I only speak realness. I know it's not, people are going to be put off a little bit by that, but I have to stay true to myself now. I will not be going back to the bullshit before, you know. And that's the reality of the situation, Steven. The reality of the situation is I know what angle you're going for. She's a whore. She just wants money. She's a gold digger. But, the alternative to hurting your finances would be hurting you. And, we can't do that again. So, logically speaking, continuing to fuck with you and taking all your money or as much money as possible is the only way to get some sort of justice against the gooner midget that went ahead and threw like lewds everywhere for whatever reason, right? The outstanding guy that thought he could criticize Donaldo Trump. And again, you can say what you will about Donaldo Trump. God knows I did, and look at how I'm paying for it. Fucking disloyal bastards, bro. But whatever the case is, you get what I'm saying, Steven. Continue to cry about that. Let's see. To this final thing. All right, wait, actually, no. You know what? Let's speed it up. Mental and lawyer costs. Let's see that.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably a stupid question, but are you okay through all of this?
Oh,
no,
God.
I'm not okay. Okay, I don't feel okay. The amount of
I'm not gonna go in moral grandstand about this because I don't do that. I think it's one of the things that people find refreshing about me, whether you dislike me or not. I don't moral grandstand about this shit. Hey, I just straight up say, I'm a gray area guy, right? I say, hey, if you want to do this and that, just own up to it. The only exceptions you make for, all right, the only thing that will not be forgiven and have a gray area is pedophilia. All right, and abusing your wife, so spousal abuse, pedophilia, grooming, the things that should be common fucking sense. Those are inexcusable ingredients. When it comes to, if you're a VTuber fan and you're like, whatever, you want to be weird about this shit, go for it. If you're a furry or something, go for it. Own up to it, though. Don't push your ideals on other people. This is Sen America. I feel like I'm bringing it back. I'm giving the power back to the people. And that's what I aim to do, ultimately. I aim to bring in a new era where we can have a group of realists from all sorts, all types of people, and just really come together, a good general view of ideas and get the truth. Ultimately, we are truth seekers. As centrists, we are the truth seekers. The centers, the Senny squad, did not take that from any, but that's what we seek, all right? And, man. I just lost where I'm going with this. Oh, right. You appreciate that I don't moral grandstand about things. And I won't. And when it comes to this, though, this whole, like, destiny, how is your mental destiny? It's like, the fuck? Like, what do you care about his, like, he put himself in this situation. Who cares about Destiny's mental fucking, how he feels mentally? Who cares? It's his fault. Cause sorry, I went on like a little fucking sniffing my own fumes little fucking segment right there then. I'm sorry, I had to make this momentarily interesting by bringing up that like narcissism in myself, because this guy, Destiny, is like he is actually fucking killing me. Like his reactions, his like all this bullshit is actually fucking just damaging me internally. So let's try to finish this up. Oh god, and then get this this fucking over with. Let's see Destiny crying right now.
of insane people who have contacted me, who have other people who've tried to extort me on things.
Welcome to the internet, boy.
I had some woman DM me and she's like, we sexted a long time ago. Like, if you don't give me $5,000, I'm going to...
Welcome to the internet, boy.
I'm going to contact the Daily Wire.
Welcome to the internet, boy.
I tell them this story. I'm like, what the fuck? I've had so many random...
I love how these self-entitled e-celebs like this guy over here that casually tells people to dox individuals, he still wants to play victim. Like, if you're going to go ahead and straight up be like, essentially tell your people to dox and attack individuals, I better not see you playing a victim card ever. All right, that's where you lose me. Again, I'm like one of those people that's not, gonna moral grandstand, even though I know it's the quick way to power on the internet. I'm not gonna do that though. Because again, the realest guy in the fucking room. So I just want you, like, again, if you're gonna be this badass, do not play victim. Do not play victim. It's like other, commentary YouTubers will go ahead and act like they're badass, and they can, like, bully Miss Manshi, Bo Blacks, and then they'll cry whenever you try to bully them, and they'll hide behind, like, their legion of tipsters and children, like Nicholas the Oreo, Larix, etc., just to name the top two idiots out there, like the most fragile victim bitch made idiots, the fat one, and the closeted lolicon that is just a disgrace to lolicons everywhere. He's not he bows down to the antis, like a bitch. He just does. He sucks. He's bad. He's even lesser than Boblex.
Crazy people.
Speaking of commentary, little commentary reference. She used to be commentary's hero, so I'm not surprised actually that they turned out this way.
Yeah.
It's like if you name commentary's hero, it's always Mr. Medicare or fucking Destiny. So,
can you leak your current lawyer costs? Yeah, it's just me pissing my money away, but I guess I can spend it on something. I've probably paid about $40,000 so far. Good times. Feels good. Is it for sure going to trial now? Who knows? Initially, I didn't think they would actually file an actual suit because for various reasons the claims are all so stupid.
No.
But the
no, your situation is stupid.
But now, who knows? I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. I don't think I want to talk like specifically around like litigation strategy, just because I need to. Because we're probably still planning, right? I literally woke up and saw this.
Bro, this guy's going to jail. I will be highly surprised if this guy doesn't go to jail. I'm gonna be real here.
It's on Twitter.
I'm gonna name. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna name this, and the title is "Destiny is Going to Jail."
So, remember a while ago you mentioned that going on social media to talk about what happened in cases like this should be the last line of defense if the authorities do nothing about it. Well, I guess that depends on what your goal is, huh? Is there a legal term for bringing something to court and throwing your case because you're trying to get them for a harsher crime than what they're actually guilty for? I think there's a term called. I think it's called.
This is just boring. I'm gonna skip to the say you're sorry part.
To be fair, you haven't put on a sorry tone to be throughout any of this. Like, do you genuinely feel bad for what you did? Right. I'll talk more about this tomorrow. The biggest issue with people who are saying like you have to have an apologetic tone or whatever is people want me to be apologetic for being like a sex cult groomer person.
That's what you are.
Like, no, I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. But I'll talk. I think I can talk more specifically about it tomorrow. Hopefully, yeah. Does this include talking about the cherry stuff? I think I will. I want like everything is built off of the pxie stuff. So I want to like have this done before I move to another, because as soon as I move to the next thing, there's just going to be a whole bunch of autistic shit that spawns from that as well. So it's just I'm trying to do this like compartmentalized. Do you feel betrayed by Lonerbox? No, I think Lonerbox was in like an impossibly position. I felt like I said, I reached out to Verse and I was like, hey, shit is fucked. Like, we don't have to do content. It's cool. I understand. Especially because I think pxie, lied to him about us ever having hooked up. So yeah, I don't know how much that impacted them or not though. Or not that it matters, I guess, because apparently they're not dating is what we say publicly. So maybe that doesn't matter at all. I'm not sure. Will you address the Will Smith and XQC situation? What is the Will Smith and XQC situation?
And then you unpack it on the music.
Yeah, and it's like,
I
got when you like
boring shit from here. Okay, so this guy is not going to apologize because he thinks he's better than it. All right, whatever. Anyway, I guess that's the reaction. I guess like Destiny's going to jail. At least I'll be surprised if he doesn't at this point. Personally, his fucking again, my main takeaway. I don't know how you motherfuckers can cover this for 5 to 9 hours. Like, I mean, like, I'd question your mental at that point. It's like, what are you doing? Do you go outside? Why so enamored with like Tiny over here, to the point where you gotta make like 5 to 9 hours of content? I mean, like, there's like one skinny British guy that I'm like okay with him doing that because I mean I think he's cool. That's just my bias, alright? But when it comes to like fat like Nicholas the Oreo, 28-year-old turning 30, just fucking has nothing to do with his life. He's not gonna give his mother like a child, you know, like he's just gonna overall just all Nick Diora is gonna do is harbor children in his fan base and people that have the same mindset as like Tipster, and that's all he had. Like I don't get it. And then we get onto like the lower brass of commentary. I just don't get it. Like the skinny British guy that covers this is fine, you know. That guy's fine, all right. But like anybody else, you know, this 5 to 9 hours of covering this shit, or however long you spend like dissecting Tiny, I gotta wonder like what the fuck do you have going for you in your real life? Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, blah blah blah. I don't know. Do whatever the fuck you want. This has been my reaction to Destiny. I think Destiny's going to jail. That's pretty much what I think.